Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. Next level understanding of the select, non-select paradigm. Now, check this out. I was at this past weekend, I was at a retreat in Atlanta. Some people who follow me on Instagram know I was down there, but I was there mainly for business. Well, the retreat and also filming some scenes for a movie. We'll let y'all know about that coming when they get the filmmaker, the director gets the film together more. I'm gonna let y'all know. I'm gonna be making a big announcement, but yeah, Rom is about to be on a celluloid, independent flick, but still. But anyway, getting back to the matter at hand. Next level understanding of the select, non-select. So this is a relationship retreat, and this next level. This ain't the stuff. This ain't the stuff that's on. They typically talking about on YouTube or something. This really is next level. It was sponsored by Master Yao's group, who I talk about a lot, the Grand Trine. And they talking about they getting into tantra and all those other things. Now, of course, we talking about the select non-select thing. Now, the select thing was, that was something that was first introduced to me, or his version was introduced to me back in the 90s. And then, as I said in my book, Nice Guys and Players, I just expanded on some stuff, went deeper into some of the archetypes, particularly Mr. Goodbar. So, and that's something like me and him have bounced stuff off since then, have bounced like different aspects off of each other or different observations for over 20 years. But then the thing with it, and even because I actually got a version I'm going to introduce in a on-demand video, a personal version. Because remember, when you're dealing with these archetypes or classifications, anyone can have 1,000 nuances and different understandings. And, you can even, if you're really good, you can bring them all together. And I'm going to talk address that somewhat on my Deep Thought channel. But anyway, so you got the two masters of this whole system talking at the same place. Yet, the system was explained to a woman. Now, when I say system, the system actually goes beyond just saying select and non-select. That's the way you got to understand it. The system itself goes beyond the select, non-select thing. Because you got 4 categories that you have within the system. With the select, it's, the masked man and the Mr. Goodbar. And y'all probably heard the Mr. Goodbar term, that's that, corresponds loosely to the sexual alpha that other people might talk about. And the masked man is that money man. Then you also had a gamesman and then the nice guy. So we had, as men, we had our thing of it. We promoted. People got to understand it, and women. But then there was a point, there was an exercise we did where all the women there, they started breaking down each man according to what they saw. And it was interesting because some guys who might have thought they were Mr. Goodbar found out they were seen as a nice guy. Some guys who thought that they were a nice guy were seen as Mr. Goodbar. But what they did was, they got the logical definition. As men think more logic, rational, like definitions, words, classifications, stuff like that. Cut and dry. 1 + 1 = 1. But to get the next level understanding, remember, all of it still go back to the perceptions of women. Now, what Master Yao and myself did was just break it down so men understood it, had an observation of it. But then the women, you give it to them, and they're going to break it down a different way. And they're going to get to the point where they take it to the next level. See, they looking at a man energetically. See, a lot of times when people hear this, they'll say, oh, yeah, Mr. Goodbar, that's that good-looking dude, or, all of that. But then, even then, the woman's still breaking it down to energy, because it's not always about looks. And the women broke it down. It's about the energy, what they thinking, And, part of it is they might just look at somebody and say, oh, yeah, dude could be average, but then he might be tall. And they thinking big hands, big feet, big dick. Oh, yeah, they went there. The women were all the way raw with it. Or, they might look at another person, call him a Mr. Goodbar. But, dude don't look like that classic model, but it's something dangerous about his aura. He look like he might kill somebody or something. Or he might be real protective. Because it's all about what the woman's feeling. And the money piece really, in the energy thing, the money piece is, that's more for the man anyway. Yeah, women take the money if you offer it to them. But that's just the money. You might have a whole lot of money and status, but they see you as a nice guy. Because it's all about the energy. And speaking of the nice guy, the way they looked at it, they didn't see it as that good, kind person. Let me say it again. They ain't see like that good guy with virtues and everything. And they said something, and I even said this. I've said this, but I haven't said it recently about nice guys. Most of them faking. And that's how they were saying a nice guy. Because the nice guy going in, he trying to do all this nice stuff and good stuff for the woman, but he know he want the pussy. That's turning off the woman. It's better just to walk up and tell her you want the pussy. It's better because when they come out, you coming off as a nice guy, they looking at the energy of it. Because as soon as you approach it, they know you want to fuck. They know you ain't really trying to be their friend. You ain't approaching a woman to try to be your friend, or you try to do this extra stuff, or you try to do that white knight stuff. They actually don't respect that. And this wasn't like one or two women. You're talking like several women, probably over 10 women. They all on the same page. They all on the same page. And they said it was about that energy you give, what you coming off as. Like if you the gamesman type, they looking at you like, oh, okay, he got his strategy, he got his plan. You can see him calculating. Like they reading that. Right? Or a masked man. They say they ain't really about the money. That's you putting up a mask. They ain't feeling you. You putting if they can't read your emotion, like if a woman can't really read your emotion, that's a mask to her. If she feel like you hiding something. That's why I always say if you authentic, you real with it. Cause that's one thing. The men that they labeled good bar was real with it. It was about the energy. That's one thing. They weren't trying to be nice about the shit. They were real with it. And see, that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing to understand at the end of the day. It's good to think what you think about yourself, but it's like the women got to feel something from you. And, that's why I was talking about the authentic thing. Like, there's always that thing, oh, I can lie to women and stuff. They reading your energy anyway. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give men the game on this. When you lie, you tell them lie, you think it's working. But a lot of times women see something else. They see it and they like, why this dude lying to me? Because first of all, they peeping everything you're doing. They reading your energy. They could probably tell if you in a group, you talk to a few women, you walk over. They could probably tell you everything about the woman you talk to because they constantly checking you out. So in a case where you think the lie is working, the woman just going along with it for whatever reason. She's gonna say, "Oh, okay. If you want to tell me that shit, I was gonna fuck you anyway." But alright, I'm gonna let it go. And then the dude thinking it's working. It's like, nah, she like you for something else or she using you for something else. But understand the next level understanding of it all is about that energy. It's about what they feeling. What can you make a woman feel? Yeah, they looking at your body. Yeah, they looking at you. Looks do matter, but it's a question of how do those looks make her feel? You could be a rough looking dude, but if it's something about you that makes her feel a certain way, like you might give her a feeling like you would tear it up in the bedroom, she gonna go with that regardless of how you look. So that's the thing. I'm still working on wrapping my head around some stuff, and I'm gonna probably present something maybe in next few weeks or months or whatever, to really get an idea, really explain to guys the energetic level, the next level, that feeling level that women are really evaluating men at. Because, as men, we more on the surface and shit, and we think, oh, okay, because even with the muscles need to make them feel a certain way. And I've said that before. I said it depends. You know, they can't just see it and you got muscle. You got to give them a certain feeling. So for them, the select is going to be the guys who can make them feel a certain way, and the not select, the guys who can't make them feel that way. And that way is usually around pleasure and sex. So anyway, that's all we need. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.